ASEAN is important to the US, and that's the takeaway for the group's leaders at the end of an hour-long lunch meeting with President George W. Bush.
So I appreciate your hospitality. It's good to be amongst friends. I enjoyed our candid conversation, and I thank you for your leadership in this important part of the world.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
And to show that appreciation, President Bush says he'll send an ambassador to ASEAN. Speaking to reporters later, Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong said the move highlighted the growing importance of the group. It's also a recognition that ASEAN needs to be a tighter and stronger organization. Mr. Lee added that it's necessary to cultivate the links with the US.
We think it's very important in ASEAN that the American link be developed and grown. We are developing our links with China, with India, with Japan, with the Europeans. But this one across the Pacific has a very special significance because it's not just a trade or economic link, it's also a strategic link which, with an American presence which sets the strategic balance in Asia and enables all the ASEAN countries to grow and to prosper in peace.
During their lunch, which was closed to the media, the leaders also discussed concerns over climate change. Mr. Lee said the US and ASEAN can explore cooperation on clean and renewable energy. This topic was also discussed in Mr. Lee's bilateral meeting with Australian Prime Minister John Howard.
The question is, how do we move the process forward, not to have a decisive outcome out of APEC, because that's not realistic, but to have a significant step forward, and progressively we develop a consensus and we can have an agreement which all countries can belong to as post-Kyoto. And I think that's something which we have a lot of sympathy with.
On the security front, Mr. Lee said the US is a key player in the overall security environment, and its anti-terrorism efforts and exchanges with ASEAN countries have been fruitful. Now, other issues raised included maritime security in the Straits of Malacca and tackling health pandemics like HIV/AIDS and the avian flu. Trade matter also featured prominently in their discussions. On the stalled Doha round of trade talks, Mr. Lee said the deal cannot be closed without American leadership. He stressed that if the US can help to push it through, it will then be a lasting contribution to the stability and prosperity of Asia Pacific and the US. Wong Siu Ying, Channel News Asia, Sydney, Australia.